Okay, today we are looking at processing black walnuts for home use. And the missus has picked up a bunch of walnuts off the ground. Now, when you pick these walnuts, you know, if they haven't broken down yet, they won't hurt you picking them up. If they've laid there a while, they'll be brown and real soppy, and you'll stain your hand. After you break it, like that one, let me zoom in on that one. When they get like that, you pick them up and they'll stain your hands. So you want to wear gloves that will protect you from being stained. If you do this with bare hands, you will have brown hands for a long time. It's almost as bad as a tattoo. It's hard to get rid of. So anyway, what people used to do is they would throw these out in their driveway and they'd run over them with a car to break that husk off of them. And we use a fire rake, and that fire rake has a nice blunt end that will break that husk down very nicely for you. You could use a sledgehammer. You know, just drop the sledgehammer up and down. That will break them. Now you want to do this if you're going to eat those nuts, because if you don't, that husk breaks down and it will impart a taste to the walnut meat, and it won't be good to eat. It will have a bitter taste to it.
But the lighter ones are going to be better.
So you want to get out there and clean them up before they turn brown and icky. And there you can see those are nuts she has knocked the husk off of. You can do them with your fingers. Let me see. There you go. Go ahead and peel another one so we can watch that.
Uh-oh. There you go. We got it.
And now they're worms. There she's got a. Let me zoom in on that. When you peel these husks off, you'll see worms in there. They're eating the husk. That's not a problem. We are going to crack a few open all the way and see if we have good nut meats. But generally, you're going to have worms that are eating those husks. That's not a problem. They aren't hurting the nut meat at all. It would be another pest that might be eating the nut meat. But, anyway, so there she's throwing them in the bucket. And what we'll do, you want to wash those off. I knew an old boy that he would go to the appliance stores and buy a used Maytag or Speed Queen washer, and he would wash his walnuts in that because he could buy them cheap. Everybody was going to automatic washers. Well, those days are gone. What we will do is we're just going to lay them out in the driveway and hose them down and try to that'll get the trash off of it. Then you leave them laying out and you let the wind and the sun dry them, and let them dry a few days, and then you can crack these open later at your leisure. So get one nut. We want to see if the nut meat is any good. So we're going to get that. Just lay it down there on the ground, right down here. And we'll crack one open and see how it is. Yeah. Going to zoom in there. And we're going to see how that is. Okay, so we're going to take a heavy. The walnuts are hard to break. There she cracked. And bring that up right in front of the camera here. Hold on. Okay, and let's see how. Oh, good looking nut meat. I got to back off. It won't quite focus. Bring it up close here. Yeah, good looking nut meat.
Normally we'd crack it in a cracker so it would come out better, but
yeah.
This is just a check.
Anyway, we'll do a later video showing how we crack these with. We use a really nice nut cracker that has a rack and pinion system for good leverage. But that's basically what you do with walnut. You got to smack that husk, break it off. After you get the husk off, lay them out, hose them down good, wash the crud off the outside, let them dry.
Because they're pretty green right now.
And they still have kind of a green taste. They're not real good to eat yet at this stage. They will have kind of a wild green taste to them. After they dry out a little bit, they'll taste better. So that's how you do it. It's not difficult. You do need something to smack them, and a fire rake.
Or a sledgehammer.
Hold still. That's a council tool. or council fire rake. You don't need the whole rake, you just need the handle. You go to Forestry Suppliers or Ben Meadows and buy a handle. But anything with a good blunt end that's tall enough you have good leverage when you're smacking those husks. A sledgehammer, a light, 6 or 8 pound sledgehammer would be good. You wouldn't have to work too hard. You just pick it up, let it drop, and you'll break that husk. And when you get done, lay them out, hose them off, let them dry, and come about Thanksgiving, you'll be ready to crack those nuts. Okie doke. And man, look at her go to town. Good exercise. Okie doke. Hey, we'll catch you all later, and we'll do one later of cracking these nuts with our fancy rack and pinion nut cracker. Now we are going to show you the alternate power method of breaking up the black walnut hulls. And you hear Susan coming here in the RTV. Here she comes. She's made a few passes over them already. She's going to show you the method here. Run back and forth over them. That breaks up those walnut hulls really well. Okay, here we are processing black walnuts, and Susan is agitating them in a bucket of water. I think this is about her 5th go round with this, and leave that one right there so we can see that really well. One of the things you do as you do this, she agitates them and kind of roughs them around, and you can see we have a walnut floating there. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, you can see there's a walnut floating right there. Floaters are bad. Floater doesn't have enough weight in it to sink, so that's a bad nut. So we'll pitch that one out, get rid of that one, and these others are cleaning up nice. You start out the first time, the water will be dark. Now the water is getting pretty bright when she does this. She'll pour that out and you can see the color of it. And you could make walnut stain with the first rinse or two with this to put on darker wood if you're into wood hobbyist type work. And they're cleaning up pretty nicely. She'll probably give that one more go around. She just stirring them with her hand with a hoe, and we'll lay those out in the driveway to dry. And anyway, that's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. If you do that, your walnuts will taste better. So you want to wash that crud off of them from the husk, and get the floaters out. Floaters may be full of bugs. You don't know, but we can crack that later and see what's in it. But really, we know it's not a good nut. It may just be shriveled in there, or it may be full of bugs. But we're going to get rid of that one. So. Anything to add, Susan? Let me shine in there. Well, that is a good-looking bunch of walnuts. And the funny thing is, you can't judge how big those walnuts will be from the husk. You may have one in a small husk, open it up, and you may have a big nut, or you may have a huge husk, and it'll be a little nut. So it's really no judge. You pick them all and knock that husk off, and then wash them up. And the way the weather is this weekend, they should dry very nicely.